What's up, everybody? It's Jason from Straight Edge Knives. Hey, we're coming at you today with another, review. And I told you guys this review was coming, and hopefully, if you saw one of my shorts there about it, you're looking forward to this as much as I am to doing the video. But before we get started with the whole review and let you know what it is that we're looking at here today, I do gotta say something. I received some bad news this past week about a fellow knife enthusiast, William Cahill. I know a lot of you watching this probably don't know who he is or anything like that, and which is fine. But he was somebody that I was developing a friendship with. We talked about knives. We messaged back and forth a lot. He turned me on to some knives. I got him into some knives, and just a few weeks ago, he was texting me about how he was getting ready to go on this cruise with his wife and stuff to Alaska, and I was like, awesome, and then I reached out to him the other day to see how his trip went, and I didn't hear anything back. And then I got the news, unfortunately, that he had passed away. And it's a sad thing. And I just want to say I offer my deepest heartfelt sympathies to his family, and I'm dedicating this video to William Cahill. May you're up wherever you are, sir. I hope you're up there with having a good time and playing with all the knives that you ever wanted, man. Gonna miss having those conversations with you. So without further ado, he would want me to do this video, and so I'm dedicating this one to you, William. Guys, what we have here today is the Springfield Armory Hunter 2020 model. Now, Springfield Armory's done a couple of collaboration knives with, actually they've done quite a few knives with a few different companies. If you ever look up their website, and it's kind of hard to find because Springfield doesn't make it easy to find the knives on their website because they're primarily a firearms company, right? But, there's some CRKT stuff, a few other things, but they did team up with Tops Knives and did a couple of collaboration knives, and this was the very first one that they did. Now, I have a full video on the other collaboration knife that they did, which is, they call it the Clip Point Field Knife. Awesome blade, man. It's a collector's piece for me because there was only 300 made. There's quite a few more models that this one made, so these are still available, and as far as I know, they're pretty much exclusive to Springfield's website. You might be able to find this other places, and if I do find, if I see that it's for sale at like Knife Center or Blade HQ or something like that, I'll put a link in the description below, so go check out the description and look for the links and see what's there. Pardon me, I've been drinking my Dr. Pepper here. But anyway, guys, this is how it comes. Like I said, they teamed up with Tops Knives. So this is 100% made in the USA. Tops Knives makes this. They don't hide it. It's on the box here. You'll see the Tops logo right there on the side. It says it on the back of the box. Basically there's a, kind of talk little stuff, but you get the full Tops Knives experience here with this knife. It's just, it's got Springfield's knife name on it. And this is also a blade that you can't get through Tops. So it's not like they make this model with Tops name on it. This is, exclusive to Springfield Armory. So pretty much you got your box here. Obviously it says Springfield Armory. We're going to set this off to the side. Comes typically in a plastic bag. It says made in the USA like you normally get with a Tops knife. The one thing I did notice is this didn't come with the whistle, but I don't know if that's held off exclusively for the Tops Knives only stuff. But man, this thing is really nice, guys. Check out this beautiful black leather sheath. And right here on the sheath, it has the Springfield Armory logo embossed on there, if you can see that. Very nicely done. It's a very well-made sheath. I mean, oh, hold on. Whew. I don't know what it is, man. And whenever I pull a new knife out of the box, the smell of the leather is fantastic. But it's got your basic, standard belt loop. This knife is held in here fantastically. I am not worried about this knife falling out of the sheath at all. I mean, it's got a nice retention to it. Let's slide this bad boy out and get a good look at it. So again, there's a sheath, very nice sheath. The retention is fantastic. Guys, look at this. This thing is just nice. Very, very well made. A lot of really nice, cool features to it. So this was made to be a collaboration knife, obviously, and the color schemes and things like that that go with this knife were meant to go with a 2020 model rifle that Springfield Armory had put out, I think back in 2020. So this has actually like a green. So let's just go over the specs real quick and we'll talk about that. So there's not a lot of specs on the website for this knife. Unfortunately, like it's not super detailed on the specs, like the blade thickness and stuff, but what details are on there, I'm going to tell you right now. Blade length, you're looking at a 3.75 inch blade with an overall length of 8.5 inches. You do have a beautiful carbon fiber handle. These are tan micarta. It's almost like it's not quite a dark desert tan, but it's not quite white. It's like a really fine in between. So it's like a tan micarta. And then you have a green Cerakote. It's like this dark, kind of almost like a mix between green and gray Cerakote. It's really cool looking. And it's 1095 high carbon steel. That's about all the specs that you get on the website for it. So it's kind of interesting. So I can't tell you exactly what the blade thickness and stuff like that is, but I can tell you I wear XL gloves and my hand fits perfectly in. So you're looking at like about a maybe 4.25 to 4.5 inch handle. I got a full grip here. You got a little bit of pommel sticking out here where they have this nice lanyard hole, as you can see right there. But fits nicely in my hands. You do have a couple of small scalloped points right up here. You can see right here and right here. So this was actually designed to be, they wanted this to go with a hunting rifle. So this is like a hunting blade. It's supposed to be good for, kind of all your general all-around camping / hunting needs. So I guess, if you had to pinch up here on this handle, you can kind of come in here and do some fine work, if you will. You do have some jimping up here on the top of the blade as well as the back. So obviously you have lots of traction for your thumb. But like if you had to get up here and kind of get in and do that fine caping work, as they say, you can rest your index finger right there and you're not going to lose traction. You're going to be able to get in there and do that real fine work, if you will. So it's actually a really cool feature. It's not necessarily, I could actually reach my thumb all the way up there, if I had to do like a hard kind of push through or something. You could do that as well, but you do have a nice little lanyard hole there. Reverse grip, you can easily rest your thumb over the top, kind of get a full grip for if you had to do, stab into that, elk to do some, I don't know, whatever it is you do. But the reverse grip is very nice on this. Nice rounded off in the back here. And your regular grip is very nice. If you had to come in here for like a reverse grip, again, it still feels really good in the hand. You can come in here and pull through if you need to. It's just a very, very comfortable blade. And with this carbon fiber handle, this thing is it's light. It's just not, it's a full tang knife, as you can see there, but it's not an overly heavy knife. And then if you're looking at your balance point here, it's like right about the middle. I'm sorry, my camera's shaking a little bit. It's getting a little windy out here. So, trying to see if I can get this balance point here. It's right about, I'd say it's right about here on this little hump before you get into the finger choil area. It's kind of about the balance point. There you go. Had to rest on my big old meat finger. But guys, for everyday carry, hunting, field work, man, I think this is going to be a great knife. The thing came out of the box sharp as hell. And it's ready to do some work. And so, you know what? Without further ado, let's head on over to the testing area and put this to some work and see how it holds up and see what it can do. So stay tuned. All right, guys, we are back. We're ready to put this bad boy to work. Again, here it is, nice black leather sheath. Like I said, the retention, phenomenal. It's just it locks, it almost like it locks in there. I'd almost want to say there's a piece of Kydex in there, but there isn't. That's just how well of a sheath they did with this knife. So it comes right out, ready to rock and roll. We'll set that off to the side. So let's get right into it. First off, let's get into some of our rope cutting. So we got our good old poly rope here, the yellow stuff that everybody hates. I don't think everybody hates it, but yeah, cutting right into it, not a problem. Gosh, I really got to stop saying not a problem. But we can cut through this. You're out, like I said, you're out hauling a load out to the dump, or maybe you're a trucker and you use this stuff and you got to break it down, obviously, to make some different loops and things like that. Out camping, stuff like that, bam, you're gonna be able to cut into that Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Yeah, I'm an old fuddy-duddy, so I got old sayings like that, but bam, do a little whip, chop, cut. Look at that. Not a problem. Now, this knife isn't obviously designed to be a chopper, so don't, be thinking that, you're going to be able to go out there and, just ham bone chop through stuff, because this isn't that type of knife. This is a lighter knife made for, I would say, lighter duty work. I would even say that with this jimping and the ergonomics of this, it might be a good, self-preservation tool, if you will. But that's a whole other topic, right? I'm not an expert in that, so I can't really say that for sure, but I wouldn't have no problem carrying this for that need. But here you go. Got this kind of sisu style rope. This stuff is pretty rough on an edge. We're going to come in here, cut some chunks off. Cutting through it, no problem. Easy. So we're going to bump it up here. We got a little, well, I'm going to say we're bumping it up. We're going to go into this cotton rope. This stuff is, even though it's thicker, it's generally fairly easy to cut. And I mean, knives just blow right through this stuff. But it's kind of cool because actually, you get this big old strand right here. Kind of cool rope to have, because you can always break it down and pull out these strands, and you could almost triple the amount of rope that you have easily, because there's 3 strands in there. But come in here, cut through all of it without a problem. Here we got the thicker sisu rope. This stuff is really cool. I like starting fires with it, but this stuff is, again, it's tough on an edge. It's a lot thicker, so you had to come in here, cut a piece off, set it down on your cutting surface, cut through it. There you go. So you cut some off. Make sure you save the stuff. Like I say, you can start a fire with it. Just check this edge. Still feels razor sharp. Still taking hair off my hand without a problem. Yeah. See all that hair right there? It's funny is my wife can always tell when I've made a video, because I'll have bald spots on my hands and arms. So there you go. Obviously we can cut through that rope. And if we can cut through that rope, come on, this little chintzy paracord stuff, we got it. Absolutely. So I don't think we really need to focus too much on that. Now let's say you had to cut through some hide or something like that. Maybe you had I don't know, you got to cut up a leather belt and make some hoop earrings or something with it. So here's a leather belt right here. So we had to come in and cut a piece off, and easily cut a piece off like so. Come here, break it down even more if you need to. I don't know why you would need to, but hey, we're just, testing out that edge, cutting up different types of mediums, just so we could see what the knife can and cannot handle possibly. So there you go. If you had to come in there and cut up some belt, you could. Come here, shave little pieces off. Absolutely. You see that there? Excuse me. Got some more soda coming up. So, up next we got our 3000 PSI rated air compressor hose. This stuff is, nylon reinforced. It got some like string type stuff that's in there. It's rated to handle 3000 PSI, so it's got to be pretty strong, right? So if you had to come in here, cut you a piece off, make you a makeshift, fuel line for your old K2500 pickup or something, bam, you can come in there, cut off the length that you need, break it down, put some hose clamps on there, bam, your truck's back up on the road, you're out there four-wheeling again. Not a problem. I said it again. So you come here, do a press cut. Let's say you had to cut the hose in half for whatever reason. You can easily just kind of rest the knife on there, do a press cut, you're going to cut right through. So it can handle the hose, it can handle the rope, it can handle all that good stuff, right? Can it handle the fire hose though? This stuff is legit fire hose off an old fire truck. This stuff has been used. It's been drugged through the mud and the blood, guts and the glory, and this stuff is very cut resistant and abrasion resistant. It's 2 layers of canvas with a layer of rubber that's glued inside, so it's definitely tough on a knife edge to cut. So we're going to come in here, we're going to cut a piece off. There we go. Like I said, this stuff is very cut and abrasion resistant. So you're going to come in here and saw through it. You can do that. Now let's say, check that, well, it still feels pretty damn sharp. So let's say you had to come in, stab through it, right? So we're going to come in here, gonna, bam. Obviously, stabbed right through. Slid out there, but look, come in here, cut right down the line. Bam, cut that hose. Absolutely, not a problem. Ready to rock and roll. Check that edge. I don't see any rolls, chips, or deformations. Yeah, still got a super sharp tip. Let's see here. Let's jump into our woodworking stuff here. So let's say this is a square piece of, it's like a wood dowel, but it's like a square one. But let's see there. Make some fire curls. Cut it off, but look at that. Fine little guy right there. I'm not very good at making these things, guys. Because as you can see, I'm cutting them, but they're flying off on me. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Getting the groove now. I don't know if you necessarily call that a feather stick, but could I hog this off and help use it to make a fire? Look at that. Able to kind of pry that, no problem. Put a little pressure on that edge. Could absolutely do it. Let's see here. Again, I'm no bushcraft expert by any means, but I can tell you this jimping on the back really locks your thumb into place when you're coming in here. Kind of make those cuts. Let's try the jimping up here. Let's say, I'm not saying like this would be. Yeah, so kind of sawing into the wood there, it definitely kept my finger in place. Let's say you did have to, like you had a smaller stick like this and you had to do some light chopping, real light. You had to make that tent stake, if you will, aka vampire dispatcher. Kind of come in here, do some light chopping. Kind of get it started for you. Then you can come in here and hog it off, clean it up, get you that tent stake going. Get it down to a nice fine point, which if you need it to, you can come in here too. And again, with that jimping on the back, you can do those nice finer cuts. You know, making something square round isn't always the fastest thing in the world to do. But we are going to do it because I want you to see you can do it. And we are almost there. You can see that. All right. There we go. Tent stake is ready to go in. Either the ground or that pesky vampire that won't leave you alone. Let's say you needed to notch out a section here for your rope. Kind of latch into. Kind of come in here. Do those cuts into here. So what you're doing is almost like you're making a feather stick, but you're digging into it to make a kind of a notch. And actually, I screwed up. I did it backwards. I should have did it the other way. I should have been making it this way. My bad. Just realized that. I was like, hey, wait a minute. This isn't going to hold a rope here if I keep going in and doing it that way. But it's nice. You can just kind of press your thumb on the back here and you kind of just roll the knife into the wood, if you can see that. And when you get, I don't know, kind of far enough into there, I like to kind of just come in over the top of it, because you know, I got all this stuff right here. I like to come in, just put my knife over the top where it kind of ends. Take a light batoning type stick, hammer through a little bit, kind of make that flat spot, dig that stuff out of there. Some people would probably say, that's not how you do it. Yeah, that's how I do it. I actually broke a chip off. So there you go. You got a little spot there. You can hook your little paracord rope around. It's going to catch the edge like that. Bam, tent stakes ready to go. Good to go. Or, you know, you're good again for that vampire. Get that guy out of here. Dispatch him. Not a problem. Ready to rock and roll. So let's say you're out and you got to break down some wood. Again, maybe you dropped your big blade. Maybe you left it on the pack mule before you headed out up the hill to get that elk or whatever. This is what you got, and you got to build a fire because now you're kind of stuck out there. Got to keep them coyotes and wolves and whatnots away. So we're going to break down this little piece of wood here. Now this isn't a big thick knife for batoning. I wouldn't suggest batoning with this knife. If the need absolutely arose and you had to do it, that's why I'm doing this, to show you guys that it can be done. Not necessarily that it should be done, but that it can be done, right? So that little piece is pretty easy. This one's a little bit thicker piece. Definitely got a knot there. So we're going to just, you know, we're going to come in right over here on this knot, and we're going to give it a few wackadoodles and break a chunk off just like that. Bam, look at it. Taking off chunks, going through that knot. Holding up. Yes, it is. Still straight. Yes, it is. Because this isn't obviously a very thick knife. So again, this isn't something I would say go out and, you know, you're not going to be batoning through, you know, almond logs like this, you know. That would definitely be very difficult to do, and would probably destroy this knife. Or any knife of this size for that matter. But here is a piece of seasoned almond wood, kind of a thinner piece. Now guys, this stuff is pretty damn tough. When it's seasoned, it's dried out, it's hard. It's not the easiest stuff to baton, but look at, and right here, you can see we got this bend and curve in the wood, kind of a knot. My batoning stick is breaking apart. Bam, look at that. So we're right there into a knot. Let's give it a few more hits. Bam. Kind of broke it off there. Not the knife, but the wood, but there it is. This top knife is still in fantastic shape. Still holding up. Absolutely. Holding up fine. Handle scales, everything's looking good. And man, I tell you what, man, this carbon fiber, it is just beautiful. But there, if you had to do some light batoning, absolutely could come in there and do it. Let's do a little bit of stabbing here. So this is a, I don't know, a 2x8 or something like that. So we come in here, reach over the top. We're going to stab in. Check it out. Still straight, man. Nothing wrong with that tip. Look at that. You guys can see that there. Tip is still fantastic. No issues. Still straight. Hands good. Everything's good. Felt good. Yeah, I mean, come in here and easily do some stabbing. Let's stab in here and do the old little turn test. Put a little pressure on that tip. Put a little pressure on that edge right up there. See what we can make our bow drill divot hole, if you will. Obviously, this isn't a good piece of wood for making a bow drill fire, but you know, again, we're just kind of testing that edge, testing that tip, seeing what we can do. All right, yeah. You can see there, kind of that hole, the stuff falling out of. See if we rolled this edge at all. Nope. Didn't roll it, didn't chip it, didn't bend it. Still good to go. And, you know, honestly, I wouldn't expect anything less from, you know, Tops knives. Even though it's a Springfield knife, it's, you know, it's a Tops knife to me. But one thing that I always found interesting between this knife and the other one that they did, the clip point knife that looks kind of like a better version of another knife. We're not going to get into that argument. Is Springfield Armory does not advertise these knives at all. Honestly, I didn't even know that the other one had existed. All right, guys, sorry about that, man. It's hot out here. It's like 90 something degrees and my camera overheated again. So I got to figure out how to fix that issue. But anyway, as I was saying, Springfield Armory does not do a very good job of advertising these knives. Again, as I was saying before, I don't think I ever seen this one advertised. I happened to find out about it from Tops, just in talking to those guys. And then I looked it up and I was like, oh, wow, that's a pretty awesome knife. And then I just happened to stop by Springfield's booth at SHOT Show one year. Actually, it was last year or the year before. I don't remember. Anyway, I stopped by their booth to see if they had this knife there for me to look at, and they didn't take any. And he go, but when I inquired, he was like, oh, which knife are you talking about? Which one from Tops? And I go, what do you mean, which one? He said, well, we have this one, and there's a clip point filled knife. And I was like, had no idea that knife even existed. And I looked it up and I was like, holy crap, I got to get one of those. There was only 300 made, so I had to get one. I did. I got a video, go check it out. Again, like, they do not advertise these knives, so I don't think a lot of people even know that this knife even existed. And so hopefully if you're watching this, you're like, hey, now you're gonna maybe want to go get one. Pretty awesome knife, guys. This thing is very cool, very light. I really love the sheath that comes with it. I love just the look, the feel of it. I mean, this is just going to be a great all-around blade to carry. You can do, you know, pretty much all of your smaller tasks that you needed to do. Do some light batoning, obviously. Again, you can, you know, come in and, where'd that piece? I had a piece of wood right here and I lost it. You can come in and, you know, make your feather, you know, make some feather sticks and stuff like that. You know, if you know what you're doing, which I don't. Which I know you're not probably supposed to go very fast. This is that darn almond wood. This stuff is hard as a rock. But, you know, if you had to come in and make some feather sticks, real light little curls. I think my problem when it comes to making feather sticks, I think I have too heavy a hand. Obviously, I'm a big guy, and doing light work is not my forte. I'm more of a break it down, pound it type of guy. But yeah, you could come in here and make some real small fire, you know, little curls. Probably better than I can, but you know, again, you can come in here and do that type of stuff and make your fires and whatnot. Do your skin and your cape in, any of that type of stuff. You'd be able to do that with this knife, obviously. So overall, Springfield Armory and Tops Knives did a fantastic job. I wish I could tell you, like, if Springfield designed this or if Tops designed it and Springfield commissioned it. I don't know how that worked, but it's a great looking blade and the execution on it is fantastic. So guys, I will leave a link down below to Springfield Armory's website where this blade can be purchased from them. If I find it available other places like Knife Center, Blade HQ, wherever I can find it, I'll put links below for that as well. So if you are interested in picking one of these up, you can go find it and pick one up for yourself. I'm glad I did. I bought this one and I'm glad I did. And I would suggest you pick one up as well. So fantastic blade. And if you haven't checked out my Springfield Armory clip point review, go find that. Check that blade out. That's pretty awesome as well. Good luck finding one though, because they're sold out everywhere that I've been able to find. Look, and there was only 300 made. So But hopefully maybe one day they'll come out with another one. But until then, go check out those videos. Thanks again for watching, guys. I greatly appreciate it. And, you know, again, William, man, that was a kind of a tough one there for me. But God bless you, William. I hope wherever you are is where you need to be. And my prayers for the family. Again, this video is dedicated to William Cahill. And again, thank you guys for watching. Stay safe, stay sharp, and you know what? Go hug your loved ones. Tell them you love them, because every day is not promised, right? So thanks for watching, guys. Again, stay safe, stay sharp, and we'll see you on the next one.